Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into today's video. So, as the title suggests, I will be covering the worst and the best of every single one of Spirit's animatronics by year. Now, of course, tabletops will be excluded and stuff that's just too boring to count. So, without further ado, I won't waste any time. Let's get into it. So, for the worst of 2007, we have the Kicking Legs animatronic. This is kind of confusing. There's not much to talk about here. It's just legs that kick, and I think you're supposed to put it against something so it look like a guy's getting dragged in. It's just boring and not that cool. Now, as for the best, I obviously had to go with Spasm. Um, Perhaps controversial choice. I don't know, but he is the Russian sleep experiment, which is really cool and gives him a lot of bonus points. Also, his sculpt is just fantastic, and it's beyond spirit quality. So, best. And for the worst of 2008, I kind of cheated. This is actually a 2007 prop, but I didn't. I don't know. 2008 was just really boring, so I couldn't really find anything good. For the bad, good for the bad. Yeah. Anyways, it's just it's just boring. It's weird, lame. I don't like it. It's ugly. So this was a pretty easy choice for me. I think its only contender is Toxic Zombie, but this one is just better in every way. It's really metal, dude. It's really sick. So the guy, he's getting like hung, and he's trying to pull himself so he doesn't get hung, but he's like missing his lower half. It's all bloody and stuff. And he's like all emaciated. I don't know. It's just really sick. Also, his audio is fire. It's just really screaming. It's really screaming. It's really horrific. So for 2009, it was between the crawling girl and the crawling man. They're both very, very forgettable and boring. They also just don't look very good, which I get it's 2009, but they still had some good stuff. So yeah, this is the worst of 2009, with not much competition. So this is a pretty easy decision. Obviously, the best of 2009 is the Ripping Reaper of Souls, or just the Reaper of Souls, whatever. He's really cool. The like where he pulls open his chest and there's all the little faces. That's really awesome. It's pretty horrific. Like it's really dark. There's not that many spirit props, especially nowadays, that are like really like dark. But this is one of them. He like traps people's souls in his little flesh cavity on his chest, and it's really sick. I don't know. He's really cool. Also, he was online only until 2016. This dude was online only for 7 years, and I didn't buy him. I'm a fool. So this is where it starts getting really good. So for 2010 it was kind of hard to pick because there's a lot of solid options here. Like pretty much everything here in 2010 is pretty good. The worst one though is probably the Rocking Vampire. I guess it's sort of interesting. It's just not that cool. It looks kind of weird in a bad way, and he's green. I don't know. It's kind of stupid. I don't like it. This is another pretty obvious choice. It was between him and Zombie Barrel, but I feel like me picking Zombie Barrel would just be biased. I do like Zombie Barrel a lot, but Bone Collector is just better. Okay, Bone Collector is extremely unique, which is obviously good. He's a skeleton animatronic, which you don't really see a lot of, just like straight up skeletons. Usually they're like Reapers, but he's not. His neck thing is so strange, but I really like it. He also just looks good. He's a fun character. Like he's got a personality, you can tell. Yeah, it's just really good. There's like pretty much no downsides to this thing. So 2011 was another year. It was kind of hard to choose a worst. This one isn't particularly awful. He's just not special. He's not very good. The creepy caretaker is already there, and he's better. So why would you buy him? I don't know. He's really really ugly. Also, not in a good way. Creepy caretaker is really ugly, but this guy's even worse. He's just not good. This is another year. It was kind of hard to pick a best because there was pretty solid ones all around. But I had to go with Eaten Alive just because conceptually it's my favorite one. Because Twilight Twitcher is good. but it's just kind of boring, I guess. Bl- uh, Flesh eating zombie is also good, but it's also just kind of boring. And it's not bad for something to be boring. It's just like kind of uninspired. So this is why I think Eaten Alive is way better. He's just extremely disturbing, and I like that. Okay, the rat thing is pretty cool. 2012 was another year where there was not really any bad options to pick from. So I went with Mean Old Gramps because I think he's kind of lame. He's not awful. He's just kind of weird in a bad way. And he's really boring, even though he's like kind of a unique concept. Like, ooh, he's a scary grandpa. Ooh, he's stupid and ugly, and I hate him. This was another tough one, and I think that this guy's a pretty controversial pick, but I really like him. So him being a hanging zombie is already kind of interesting, but the fact he's hanging by his arms is pretty sick. I don't know, that's just really cool to me. Also, he's like really cool. I don't know. His motion is pretty good, I think, personally, for how simple it is. Also, because you can just put him on like anything. I don't know. I like him a lot. He looks good. He's fun. I don't know. There's probably better options I could have picked, but no, there isn't. So here's my pick for 2013. I don't think anybody remembers this guy. So I don't think this is controversial at all to say he's the worst. He's really boring. He's ugly and he looks stupid. Um, he's just dumb. I don't know. I don't like him. The way that his head bobs when he moves, also like when he talks, when he opens his mouth, he looks trash. I hate him. I'm sorry. He looks like something you would find for $40 at Michael's. Yeah, he's bad. So I almost gave this spot to Silent Deadly Clown. I really like Silent Deadly Clown. He's one of my favorite clowns, but Convulsing Nurse is just a whole different beast, bro. She's really cool. Her audio is great. Uh, Conceptually, she's really cool. She's scary, dude. Um, I don't know, and it's kind of like a sad horror. Like you feel bad for her. Look how messed up this is. This is so sad. I don't know. I like her. Her design is really cool, and I want her a lot. But I don't know that I'll be able to find her for under $600. So I'm probably not gonna buy her. Anyways, she's really cool though. So this is probably one of Spirit's best years. So picking a worst is actually really hard. So I went for Skibbity Toilet Zombie.
Skibbity dop 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 dop. Yes, 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 yes.
He's just kind of weak. I don't know. Like I don't hate him. I don't even really dislike him. I think he's perfectly fine. But this year was just so good that I had to give him the worst spot. So this is easy win, like actual sweep. Even though this year was so good, this is a sweep. Probably one of the best of all time. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe the best of all time. I don't know. Top five easy. Top three easy. Probably top one. Barnyard Butchers are so good. Like there's zero flaws. Okay, it's violent and it's scary and it's imposing. He's intimidating. Excuse me, intimidating. I love him. I love him. He's the best, and I'm glad that other people also like him. He's really cool. He's the best. This is another uh great year for Spirit. I think probably the last great one. So unlike the other great years, picking a worst was kind of easy here. I just went with Swinging Swamp Hag. I think she looks stupid. Her head is too big. I don't really like swinging props. She's just not good. Why is she swinging? She's a witch. Best of this year was also pretty hard, but I mean, this might be controversial, but I think Smoldering Zombie is the best in my opinion. He's really cool. His design is awesome. His clothes look good. His mold is super cool. The fog effects are also really cool. Nice touch. The like light under the skin is sick. I really want this guy, but he's so rare. I've never seen one for less than $500, which is really sad because I want him really bad. He's really cool. Anyways, best 2015. So here's where we start getting some real stinkers. I think 2015 was the last great year. We've had some decent ones since then. I think 2016 was decent, uh, but I think 2015 we are now leaving the golden era. So starting off really weak, strong, Evil Clown, horrible. It looks terrible. The motion is garbage. It's not scary. It's really ugly. Just the mouth like slots like garbage. It's too short. The clothes are boring. Um, it just doesn't. There's literally no redeeming qualities. It just sucks. It's bad. So this was one that was not tough. I don't think. I mean, it was between her electrified corpse and I think Boogeyman. I don't know. Boogeyman is kind of mid. He's kind of overrated. To be completely honest. I think Floating Ghost Girl is really cool. I like her design. Like the motion is super unique. To have her like, on the wall, she's rising, and then flips up at you. It's really cool. She looks scary. Very fun character. I like her a lot. Listen, okay, I'm all for Spirit doing kind of unique stuff, but who bought this? Like six people bought this. It's kind of I like I don't know. It's just mid. Like what do you? It's so specific, and it doesn't even look good. Uh, Plus, you can't really use it without the fogging effect, otherwise it just looks even worse. It's just bad. Like I don't know. It's also overpriced. I would not pay $180 for this. That's kind of garbage. It's just bad. Like it's whatever. It's just a pass. Just what am I trying to say? I don't know. It's bad. 2017 was not a really easy decision. I probably would have picked Creepy Tower and Clown, but Limb Ripper is just cooler. I really like Limb Ripper. There's nothing wrong with Creepy Tower and Clown. Okay, a lot of people like other ones. Some people like Hanging Hellfiend. Strange choice, but okay. Um, I don't know. There's not really anything else that stands out to me other than like Limb Ripper and Creepy Tower and Clown, and maybe I just like Limb Ripper more because I don't have him. But I just like Limb Ripper more. He's cool. I don't know. Okay, so now we're starting to get some real stinkers. Some like bad stuff. Okay, first of all, we got okay. So first, in this sort of modern era poopy doopy spirit, we have Double Trouble. I don't I don't get the appeal at all. They don't look scary at all. Again, they look like some. They look like something from Michaels. Okay, um, they just they look weird. They don't look scary. Their motion is completely mediocre. Their concept is boring. Oh, it's ghosts, but there's two of them, and they're girls, and you can't see through them or anything. So they're just kind of like weird looking. They're not scared. They're bad. They're just trash. Like I hate them. I hate them. Genuinely they're just trash. I don't know. They're bad. Did anyone buy these? Okay, so Looming Strawman, pretty good one. It was between him and Nightmare Harvester. I really like Looming Strawman. He's pretty sick. Okay, um, I don't know. There's something about him. He's just the movement is cool. I like his motion a lot. His face looks great. His voice lines are fun. I remember really wanting this guy back in 2018, but I was never able to get him. And I have not seen a listing for him in a long time. I don't know what's going on with that, but he's really cool. I want him. I don't know. I like him. Okay, Graveyard Ghoul is horrible. He's really bad. This dude is cobbled together like some shoes, bro. I don't like him at all. He sucks. Okay. Um his motion is bad because his hair always gets caught in it and he breaks so easy. And then when it doesn't get caught in it, it just gets stuck over his face. And it just looks awful. Also, they didn't give him like an actual face. It's basically a paper plate. It sucks. It's terrible. The quality on this thing is bad. It's ugly. It's boring. At least it's constant motion. I guess it gets that. But this guy is pretty trash. I hate him, honestly. I'm so glad I sold mine. I sold him for like a pretty good price. I think I got like 180 for him or something. Not bad at all. But he sucks. He's terrible. I feel bad for whoever bought him. Okay, so this one is extremely overrated. Like I like him. I hated him when he first came out. I hated him. I like him now though because he's different and he's more. I don't know. He's scarier, in a realer sense. I don't think there's any other Spirit Halloween animatronics that are pedophiles. So this one is kind of not cool, but it's interesting. And it's scary. I mean, it's scary. Like you can't say it's not scary. He is. He also looks cool. His design is good. His design is very good. I love the eyes. The eyes in him are really cool. The lack of motion is kind of a good thing. I don't know. He's kind of weird. He's a mixed bag. At least that's how I feel about him. I kind of like him, but at the same time, he's just strange. I don't know. Okay, starting off one of the worst spirit years ever, like of all time. 2020 we have, of course, none other than Johnny Punk. One or two that are objectively worse than Johnny Punk, but this is humiliatingly bad. Okay, pandemic era spirit is probably the worst thing ever. All right, Johnny Punk is awful. Like genuinely, there's zero redeeming qualities. I'm sorry to rip into him like this, but it is so bad. The voice lines horrible. The animation pathetic. The clothes bad, just awful. The face just looks stupid. Okay, his shoes. What the hell are those, dude? This thing is so bad. Um, I think it should be destroyed. Okay, it's probably the worst of all time. Maybe not the worst of all time because Wheelchair Granny exists, which I would have put in 2014 if I counted online onlys. I think this might be. I think Wheelchair Granny is like the only thing that's worse than this, and it's not. It's actually kind of close. It's kind of close. Okay, because this one, Johnny Punk. I mean, I've been talking about for over a minute how trash he is. I cannot like understate or overstate. I cannot say this enough. He's so bad. Um, and when I saw him, and I heard everybody else talking about him, I thought it was a joke. He's pathetic, and Spirit should be ashamed of themselves. I'm sorry. I love Spirit, but this is horrible. This is a controversial pick, but I do not care. Uncle Charlie, the 2020 version, is 10 times as good as the 2010 version. Okay, the 2010 version is this old, fat old man, and he just looks weird. Like he's just fat and weird looking, and he's just fat. He just looks weird. I don't like him. Um, his motion also sucks. But the remake Uncle Charlie is just better in every way. Okay, he looks better, he sounds better. People don't like his voice is high pitched. Well, rebuttal. I don't care. His voice lines are good. Um, his clothes are cool. Also, they're pretty good. There's like nothing really bad about him. I just sold mine, and I don't know. I really like him a lot. He's kind of iconic. He was kind of a staple of my haunts that I've done in the previous years. But I sold him. Uh, Okay, so starting 2021, kind of a decent year surrounded by awful ones. 2021 wasn't terrible. It's just modern spirit, so it's automatically not as good. Um, and this is kind of all of that combined. So this is just a me thing, I think. Maybe like two other people have this opinion, but I do not like licensed animatronics at all. I think they're worse. I'd rather have original stuff 10 times, like 10 times over. Okay, licensed stuff is bad, like not good for haunts. It's not fun to collect either because it's like okay, this character already exists, um, and also for haunts, it's like kind of takes you out of it. It's like oh, I know that guy, uh, and I guess this one kind of only barely count. Doesn't even really count because it's licensed to the mask, not the movies, which is funny because anytime Ghostface like appears in anything, which like all three times he appears in something outside of his own movies, they license the mask and not the movies. Like Dead by Daylight, they use the mask license, not the character. It's kind of funny. So yeah. Anyways, this guy is terrible though. Reskin of the Hondras. So Hondras is fine. I like her. I'm selling mine, but I still like her. But this guy sucks. Like he's trash. I'm sorry. He's He just looks stupid. He's too small. He's like all frail. He looks like a little impish creature. He just sucks. His face just looks stupid. I don't know. Something about him just makes me want to punch him in the face and break all his bones. I hate him. He's ugly and he's a disappointment. Okay, so for my best of 2021, I chose another clown remake. So maybe it's a little unfair to me to give both of these years the props that are 10 years old, but they're just better. Like I don't know what to tell you, dude. They hit harder, and Spirit did a good job bringing them back. I think it's faithful to the original whilst being every bit better that could possibly be. So I really like the new Wacky Mole. Obviously, I like him more than the old one. I think that one's not a controversial take at all, but he's just like better than the other ones. I get, oh, Mr. Dark, he moves cool, but he's kind of boring. Yeah, he goes up 9 feet in the air, and he's on a scissor mech. But I mean, sure, that's good, and Spirit is using other types of mechs. That's pretty high end, a scissor mech. But I don't care. He's not that cool. I don't like him that much. Buzzsaw is also good. But he's not as good as this guy. There's a couple other ones. It was really between Henry Hustle and this guy. I don't even really like clowns, but Spirit doesn't make anything else this anymore. Henry Hustle I really like because of his clothes, but I feel like Wacky Mole just has more to offer. He's a way more fun character. Okay, Henry Hustle is a good character, but Wacky Mole is one of the most personable animatronics. He's amazing. All right. Anyways, moving on. So this is probably the worst year of Spirit like of all time. Actually, no, it's definitely is. There's like two or three things from this year that are worth it. Everything else is straight up slop. It's so bad. This is a perfect example of that. Young Crouchy just is trash. Literally, they should have just brought back normal Crouchy. And I'm not even a fan of Crouchy. He wasn't the best of my 2019, even though a lot of people he would be, and I can see why because he's pretty cool. Um, but Young Crouchy is awful. Okay, there's no redeeming qualities. I don't even think I need to explain why he's so bad. You can just look at him and tell. Okay, he looks like some came out of Sunstar, dude. This looks like something that Home Depot would make in like 2010. It's terrible. You could find this guy in like a Big Lots dumpster 15 years ago. Okay, he's awful. The build quality is bad. He's too small. I get the whole idea is like he's a compact version or whatever. But he's just ugly. He doesn't have the whole. Okay, the biggest draw to Crouchy, like the only draw, is how gigantic he is. This guy is not big. He's tiny, so he sucks automatically. Okay, so for the best of 2022, it's really slim pickings. Um, it was honestly between Monty and Bog Zombie, but I think Monty just has more to offer, so I went with Monty. Um, he's cool. I like his design a lot. I think he's pretty unique, which is great. Always good to see more circus stuff that's not clowns, because then if you have a circus theme, which a lot of people do, it's one of the most common, and that's because companies won't make anything with clowns nowadays. You can't really do much other than clowns, and there's more to a circus than clowns. That's what I meant to say. So to have a little chimp, circus chimp, that's cool. That's cool. Also some other ones. The Carnival Barker, I think was last year. Pretty cool. I mean, it's still a clown, but it's different. There's the Sword Swallower this year, also pretty cool. So we're getting more creative with that, which is good. I hope it just dies soon. We need less clowns. Too many clowns. It's actually really irritating. But Monty here, he does a good job. I like Monty. I own Monty. Selling him, but I like him. He's cool. You, Not much more to say about him. He's perfectly good. He's like an 8 out of 10. He's pretty solid. I don't know. That's all I have to say. So here we have the most recent year, which to me it's perfectly average. I don't know. It's better than last year by a long shot. I don't think it's better than 2021. Definitely better than the three before that though. Or two before that. I would say it's about on par with 2018. I don't know. It's fine. There's like nothing horrible to say about it, I don't think. Which is why I have Desmodus here. I don't hate Desmodus. It's just kind of like it's not boring. It's just I don't know. I don't It's ugly. It doesn't look good. Okay, the wings don't look good at all, and it's like I don't know. The motion is cool, but you have to put it on this weird obelisk. You can't use it without the obelisk, and you can't like hang it. Bats don't stand like that, so I just it doesn't make sense to me. I don't like him. He's fine though. He's like a 4 out of 10 maybe. I don't know. Okay, and so for our final best, I went with Poor George. Again, to me this year really didn't have any particular standouts. Some people probably disagree with that, but I just don't think it was very good. It was okay. Poor George is pretty cool. I like him. Um, if he came out in 2013, he'd be cooler. Like, I feel like this guy would fit perfectly with like the clown train in that era, which is good to see that kind of thing. Again, because I think he would have done well there. He would be very iconic today if he came out back then. Now he's just fine. I don't dislike him. Um, I like him. He's cool. I like that he's cut in half. It's different. The two face thing is pretty neat. I like that. Um, yeah, I don't know. He's perfectly good. He's a good prop. The best of 2023 in my opinion. Um, Obviously not very stiff competition, but it was neck and neck for like basically all of them. So he won. Good job, poor George. Yeah. Okay, so that was my ranking of all of them. No, sorry, my ranking of the best and worst of each year. If I did all of them, that would take probably like months to make. But yeah. So I would say all time best in my opinion, Barnyard Butcher. I can see why you would pick anything else, but that's my personal top one. Now, bottom one is way harder. Way harder. I might have just chosen Young Crouchy for the principle of it. Um, but then I thought he would be perfectly fine if he released on his own like 12 years ago, which isn't exactly a compliment, and he probably would have been forgotten in time. But he would have been he would have filled in the spot for dead humor, in a heartbeat. So, Young Crouchy honestly is pretty awful, in but it could have been worse. It could be worse, and it is. Johnny Punk, I think he is probably the worst of all time. He's horrible. There's zero redeeming qualities. Genuinely, he is dog shit. So, those are my picks for best and worst of each year. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's hope for 2024 being better. Right now I'm thinking Rick Ratman, definitely going to be the best of the year, but I would love to be proven wrong, Spirit. That would be amazing, because Rick Ratman, from what I can tell, looks absolutely fantastic, and I really want to buy him before he sells out, because this one is going to sell out. I can tell. People love this dude, myself included. He's amazing. He's the best thing we've seen in literal years. So if we see more stuff like him, I would love that, dude. If we could just get a couple more things, even if they're only online, online only, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you may be watching this, and goodbye.